Hi everyone, this is Korosh Erfani, and today is Saturday, February 28, 2026. The war has started 24 hours ago, and now we are officially in the war, one of the war that we are going to have in 2026. As you can see, we named this year the year of wars, and the first one, the real one, has just started 24 hours ago. So we knew that we were expecting to have this war because Israel had planned for this war for a long time ago, and it needed just to bring the United States in, which was done through Trump and by the Epstein file. So that's why we can name this military operation Epstein Fury, something like that. Anyway, this is the Israeli war. The Israeli war that the United States is waging for, and of course there would be the consequences for the United States, not only for Israel but for the United States. And I am pretty sure that with the different characteristics of this military conflict that I am to develop in a few minutes, we are going to have one of the most catastrophic situations in the United States in the coming days, from tomorrow, after tomorrow, from Monday, and afterwards. Then you will see how the American economy and American society and American politics will start to decline considerably. So I call that, as I told you, expected war, because we knew that Israel cannot avoid this war, cannot really let this war go away. Why? Because the Zionism, what we call the fake entity of Israel, is on the brink of kind of internal collapse. We can call that implosion, right? And in order to postpone this implosion, not to avoid that because it's unavoidable from, let's say, at least October 7, 2023, right? It's unavoidable, but it tries to postpone that, to delay it in order to just buy more and more time. So what they needed was to have the United States in this war. And as they had worked on this project of Epstein file, let's say 30 years ago, and they trapped Donald Trump, they brought Donald Trump into the politics, United States politics, and then brought it with the Sheldon, family to the presidency. Finally, they got the guy that was necessary in the position of President of the United States, in order to bring the American army, into the Middle East. So everything is done. Now, from 24 hours ago, we have seen the starting point of a war that we have no idea about the ending point, right? I have to say that we are just at the beginning of the beginning, all right? Which means that we are in the first step of the primary phase of this war, which means that if you want to have an idea about when this war will end, I have to say never. Because this is an endless war. If you can determine an ending point for the war in Lebanon, in Syria, in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Yemen, you can put also an ending point, consider or conceive an ending point for the war with Iran. So there is no really any borderline, and we are in the case of an endless war. Now, the first particularity is that just we are at the really primary phase of a very long process with no end in perspective. Second, it's an expanding war. It's an extensive war, right? It will develop for become a wide-ranging war across the region. Imagine that in the first 24 hours of this war, we have a huge number of the countries that have been involved in this war, which means that Iran started to attack Israel. So Iran and Israel, two countries. Bahrain had been attacked. Then Qatar, and then Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates, UAE, Dubai. And also we saw the preparation of the Houthi in Yemen, and of course the preparation of the Hashd al-Sha'bi in Iraq. So which means that already we have 7-8 countries that are involved for just the first day. And can you imagine, for the second day and the second week and second month? So that's why we are really in a war with a huge potential of extension. And in my previous videos and tweets and articles, I talked about a war that, if triggered, and because 48 hours ago it was not still triggered, but 24 hours ago it has been triggered, right? And we are there. I always said that if triggered, it will be first a regional war, and then preparing for the continent wall, we can say the whole continent, so Asia, West Asia, also Central Asia, and then world war. And you will see that step by step you are going to have more and more conflicts that will add up to this one, to what had been started 24 hours ago, and then we are going to have the Third World War because of Zionism, because of this cancer of humanity that we call Zionism, Israel, the Zionist entity of Israel, the cancer of humanity. All right. So the characteristic of expansive feature of this war, and with the radicalism of the operation, we can be sure that not only it will expand, but it will expand radically, which means that the degree of violence that we are going to have is not comparable with anything before. Let's take the case of the assassination of Ali Khamenei, the leader of Iranian Islamic Republic. It happened just at the first day. Now it's confirmed Ali Khamenei is dead, killed actually, and now the people who were his followers in Kashmir, the Muslim, the Shia Muslim in India, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, and in Iraq, and in Yemen, in Lebanon, started effectively the first, movements that looked like a kind of uprising. And then For example, for the Iraq, we can be sure that in the green zone, it will be a lot of adventures in the 24 hours to come. So a huge potential for the most violent kind of fights that we can imagine for a regional war, right? Because it's not a military war. You don't have the classic conventional armies to fight each other. No, we are talking about a completely asymmetrical war with a lot of forces that are just the social forces, but they can become immediately armed, you know, with the weapons and start a real war, you know, civil war against American, against the governmental forces, for example, in Iraq and so on. In addition, we are going to have also the Hezbollah coming into war against Israel very soon. We have the Houthi that are coming. So that's why we can see that Israel, by killing Ali Khamenei, knew that it's triggering effectively a huge snowball effect for the United States, you know, because there are a lot of military forces of the United States over there, and because there would be casualties for American soldiers over there, the United States will have to intervene even more, right? More violently, with more equipment, with more soldiers. Remember, Vietnam War started with 50,000 soldiers, and they thought that it's enough. And at the end of the war, it was a question of, I think, 500,000, 500,000 American soldiers over there. So, which means that we are talking about something extremely serious that will set fire to the whole Middle East first, and then will expand. As I told you in my previous video, we must be waiting for the contagious effect of this war in Pakistan, in Turkey, in Central Asia, all the Arab states in the Persian Gulf, and so on and so on. So that's why I have to say that from 24 hours ago, the world history entered in a new era, in a new phase. But we are talking about a destructive phase. There is nothing positive. Where there is the Zionist entity of Israel, there is nothing positive. Anything that this entity represents is nasty, is wickedness, it's cruelty, you know, and this is what this entity is imposing to the whole humanity. So that's why we should be waiting for an incremental process of violence, aggression, destruction, mass killing, genocide. And I said that, and I repeat it, not very far from where we are, we are going to have the usage of the nuclear bomb by Israel. I am pretty sure that with the first death toll because of the, let's say, the missiles of Iran, the drones, you know, as soon as Israel is going to have a high death toll, you know, like a few hundreds, for example, I'm pretty sure that Netanyahu will order the bombing Iran with the nuclear weapon. I don't have any doubt about that. Maybe not the United States, but Israel for sure. And that would be the starting point of the nuclear war. You know, then we are going to have China, North Korea, Russia, Pakistan, India, and then this is what will put an end to life on Earth. Our planet will be the victim of this cancer that is the Zionist fake entity that we call Israel. This is what is going to happen. I am pretty sure that from now on, with the failure of negotiations, there is no more diplomacy, there is no more international law, there is no more anything that any country wants to count on, as we saw, for example, today with the Council of Security in the United Nations, without any result regarding this aggression of the Israel and United States against Iran. So that would be completely useless to have United Nations or any other institutions, as the people are saying that's the first war of the peace board, right? So we are going to have only and only war. That's why I said 2026 is year of wars, and of course you will see that at the end of the 2026 we have already traveled a lot of this path of destruction, path of the global destruction, just during the 10 coming months. Unfortunately, this is what we have right now as our fate, fate of humanity, fate of our planet, because right now it's almost 100 years late to prevent that. The day that an cruel, anti-human Zionist entity had been established as Israel, the humanity has been done, over. And as you can see, we are very, very late to be saved or to save our planet. Maybe next time, once we are completely vanished, after a few million or billion of years, we come back on Earth, we should be attentive about this time, that if we heard something about Yahuwah, religion, God, the things as selected people, chosen people of God, the things like that, we must remember that this is the cause of our extinction, previous extinction, and that's why from now on we must think about what is waiting for us in a few million or billion years. It passes believe me, it passes very, very fast. Don't worry about that, because time is relative, and as long as you don't have any perception of that, it passes immediately, like 1 second. So we should be aware about this, and we must know the people like Trump, with having their brain, in his pants, shaped the fate of our humanity just for having sex with the girls underage. They have been shaping our future, which is a very gloomy and dark future. Let's hope not, but I am something between 100% and 102% sure that this is what is going to happen. Thank you.